Hello, Community Observatory docents. I'm going to describe to you how to change the batteries in your lanyard. If you're like me, you run out of batteries occasionally. If you look in the bin in the office labeled lanyards, you'll find this bag, and this bag contains the tiny little batteries that you need to replace. It also contains some little screwdrivers. You'll need 2 of the batteries. Now, I don't like the little screwdrivers very much. I use this one, which is just one that I had around the house. Any small Phillips head screwdriver should do the job. Okay, so the first step is to lay this out. And what you want to do is have the buckle on the left, the main lanyard on the right, and the switch will be facing you. And the first thing I do is I mark the side of the cover facing the switch, okay? And then the next step, and I'll come back after I've done this, the next step is to remove these 4 screws. This is what you'll see when you remove the back cap. See the 2 batteries stacked, and you notice that the small side of the battery is facing down and the large side of the battery is facing up. Next thing I'll do is remove those 2 batteries by just pushing the top one out first, and then the bottom one comes out easily. Here's the lanyard with the batteries removed. You notice the switch is facing me, and just leave that switch in place. And try to leave the little green motherboard or little green electronic board exactly where it is. Because if that isn't placed correctly, you won't be able to get it to go back together. And you'll notice right now that the 2 opposite corners are beveled and they fit in there perfectly. The 2 new batteries fit in very easily, and at this point I'll check it to make sure everything is going to work correctly by just pushing the switch. And if I've done it right, I'll see it light up, which I did. Okay, so now it's time to put it back together, and I'll stop this for a minute and we'll put it back together. I'm ready to reassemble it now. You notice that the board is in exactly the same place it was when we took it apart. The switch is in the same place, and the lanyard cloth or the lanyard strap is sitting there. It doesn't matter whether you get things lined up perfectly. And now at this point, I'm going to set this back on there, and you notice that I had marked it so that this side will go where the switch does. That's very important. If you don't do that, it will not go back together. Getting the 2 halves to go back together correctly is the hardest part of this, but you'll be able to do it. Just line things up, make sure the top and bottom halves of the case are exactly lined up, and there it goes. The last step is that you put the screws in and tighten them down. Don't over tighten them. This is plastic and it could strip them pretty easily. And again, you don't need to line up the original holes, whatever holes or whatever part of the lanyard it goes through will be fine. And then the final thing you do is you want to test it. The switch should move freely. If it doesn't, you may want to just work it back and forth a little bit. And if it doesn't move at all, it means you probably didn't get the 2 halves of the case lined up. So anyway, once you're there, that's it. And go ahead and throw away those old batteries. And if you borrowed one of our screwdrivers, bring it back. Thank you very much.